really want to thank all of you for coming out today. This is something that's exceeded my wildest imagination in terms of... I really want to thank everybody who came here today. This is a terrific turnout, and it's a real testament to your concerns and all of our concerns that need to be heard, not only across the street, but in Albany and in Washington. So we need to do a lot more of this kind of thing. Just share a little bit personal stuff with you. My wife and I are lifelong residents of Delaware County. I grew up in Hancock. Bree did too, although she's really from Kenosha. We went away for a while for college and some time in the Air Force, and we traveled a lot of places. And no place in the world pulled us back like Delaware County did. Just look around you, it's absolutely beautiful. We chose to come back to build a house, raise a family, educate our kids, and now, thank God, retire here. And the reason we did that is the same reason that many of you did, because we live in a beautiful environment that's clean. We've got air we can breathe, we've got water we can drink. We've got terrific farmers who do a fabulous job where our expansion of our organic and local food are the wave of the future with our market from New York City just down the road. All that's going to be at risk if we turn this area into an industrial wasteland. And believe me, that's what it will be if hydrofracking and gas drilling go through in our area or any part of this beautiful place. So again, I thank you all. We need to do this again until we get some action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Ezra, Ezra has an announcement for you.
Hello, I'm Ezra Birnbaum from right near Fleischman's on the eastern border. Our house is only about 100 feet from Ulster, but we still are Delaware rights, I guess. Three organizations in the Catskills have formed an ad hoc group to put on monthly forums. The Catskill Mountain Keeper, Catskill Center for Conservation and Development, and Catskill Heritage Alliance. If you have not yet seen the movie Gasland, we're showing it this Saturday night at the Fleischman's Methodist Church, and it only holds 200 people. So if you're interested in coming, you should come early. We've also invited the Delaware County supervisors, and we hope a few of them come. Not that we're sure they will, but if they do, we'll give them time on the microphone, and we'll try to be polite. Thank you very much. I have a few flyers with me. If you're interested, come and see me.
Thank you, Ezra. The next speaker is me, as a matter of fact. My name is Gene Marner. I'm from Franklin. If someone were to break into your home to force poison down your throat, you'd fight back. You might, for example, manage to call the police and they would arrest the intruders for breaking and entering. If you were lucky and they got there in time, they'd charge the criminals with attempted murder. But the Delaware County Board of Supervisors has invited just such intruders into our homes. And they don't even have to break down the door to poison us. They'll just poison our water while it's still in the ground. The New York State Legislature has helped the poisoners with compulsory integration, forcing us to participate in this madness if 60% of our neighbors have been so foolish as to invite the poisoners onto their land. So much for our rights to life, liberty, and property. If we call the police to ask them to protect us against these intruders coming into our homes to poison us, they'll have to protect not us, but the poisoners. If we were to try to protect ourselves along with our children, our grandchildren, our animals, our agriculture, our businesses, our property values, and our local economies, the police would have to defend them against us. The Delaware County Supervisors have allowed the title supervisor to go to their heads. They seem to think they are meant to supervise us like children and to do as they please without consulting us. They are not medieval barons, however, but public servants. While we need to acknowledge the generally excellent but thankless and difficult job they do, in looking after the roads and bridges and budgets and countless local matters in our towns, we must call them to account when they fail to protect the lives, the health, and the property of the citizens whom they represent. Thank you. Now, I have no other speakers on this list. At the time of our... sorry? Yes, if you'd like to say one thing, please come up and say it. Identify yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Pete Bracey. I'm the town supervisor of town of Delhi, where you're at. I thank everybody for being here. I got to say this. I'm very thankful you're allowing us, other members of the board, to be in your presence. You know, I'm expecting safe passage. So I got to say this. I am very, you know, regardless of the issue, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm glad to see everybody here. I think this is a very healthy display of democracy. And we're listening, and I have to say this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I know every member of the Board of Supervisors. And, you know, regardless of the issue, whether they agree or disagree with you folks, I think they're all fantastic people. I don't see anybody, I don't detect anybody on the board that has any malice towards you. I haven't seen that. I don't expect to see it. And I just want to say again, thank you very much for being here.
Excuse me, can I just ask you a question? What do you think about what you've heard here today?
I'm listening.
And what do you think?
I'm reading, I'm listening.
And what do you think?
Well, if you want to know my honest opinion, I don't think you'll ever see fracturing in the watershed area. I just don't think you'll see it. I'm not advocating that. I'm telling you, I don't think you'll see it.
That's not good enough.
Well, that's my opinion. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll say this. I'm in the process. I'm in the learning process, and that's why we're here. And I'm listening. Basically it. Thank you.
Finance, who contributed to your campaign?
Nobody.
Nobody?
Oh. No, we're a small town. We don't have campaigns like that. Thank you very much.
Have you learned anything?
Thank you. We have a couple of more people who've asked to speak. They will identify themselves.
Peter Uterberg from Shenango County. I was with a bunch of people in New York City the other day. We spoke to Speaker Silver of the Assembly, and we're trying to get him to pass the moratorium bill that will take us until May. It's not terrific, but it's something. There is a danger that the Assembly will put off the vote until after the election. So we're hoping that we can influence the Assembly to put it through now. And then, of course, the next challenge would be to get the moratorium extended. Another thing we spoke to Silver about was, or his staff, was leaning on the governor to withdraw the DSGEIS process, which, you know, the DEC is continuing to chug along with developing this new supplemental generic environmental impact statement. And it would be terrific if we could just short circuit that whole thing. According to Walter Hang, that could put them back by 5 or 10 years, developing a whole new generic environmental impact statement. Because in fact, the generic environmental impact statement that is in effect for conventional drilling is totally inadequate. There have been a number of water wells that have been contaminated around the state under the present regulations, which are in fact almost non-existent. The other thing is, I'm a member of FLEAST in Ithaca area, fleast.org. If anyone here is a lease holder, I encourage you to consider joining fleast.org. We were discussing with 3 lawyers today possibilities for suing these gas companies on RICO, which is a criminal court, and also on the idea that these leases are so one-sided and so exploitive that they are in fact unconscionable. when you look at a typical Texas lease, for instance, they, according to Mayor Tillman, leaseholders down there have been offered $37,000 per acre. What has gone down up here? Nothing like that. So, I mean, that's just the financial aspect. But the other problem with leases that have been signed so far here, especially the ones signed back in 2004, 5, and so on, are they're so exploitive they give absolutely no protections to leaseholders. So these are things to think about. So please consider lobbying your any politician you could get to. Is Congressman O'Curry, is this his district also?
Over here, no.
Okay, well, approach him. He's a Democrat. Well, so the idea is get Democratic people in positions of power to lean on the governor to withdraw this farce. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Young man. Thank you. Hi, my name's Daniel Green, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come here today, but I'm just glad that I did, because this was an issue I knew, and before coming here, I was frightened by it. But now I'm not, because I can look out at the crowd and see the emotions that drive everyone out there of truth and courage, and I can look and see the emotions that drive the CEOs of the companies of greed and cowardice and of fear. And I know that as hard as they try to come here, they won't.
Thank you. Unless there's someone else who wants to speak, we're sort of finished, but I think we shouldn't be finished. We've started something, and we have to keep up this pressure. You know, in November 2008, the Board of Supervisors invited a bunch of flacks from the gas drilling industry into their meeting, and they did a presentation about how great it would be when they come here and hydrofrack our land and to take the gas. And several months ago, my wife, Carol Marner, got a petition up, and it was signed by nearly 400 residents of Delaware County, asking the Board of Supervisors to invite people who are opposed, knowledgeable, informed, scientifically qualified people who are opposed to drilling to make the opposite case. We haven't heard from them. She never heard or got a response to that. And so that's part of the reason why we're here today, is to try and make that happen. And if we continue to keep the pressure up on them, that will happen. We'll be able to speak to them and get our message to them. So please continue to exert pressure on your supervisors at home, and try and inform your neighbors and get them on board on this very important issue. Thank you.